Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, an Insight. Episode 228. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Devotees, in the previous episode, we listened to the incidences related to the construction of the shed by Purandare for the palanquin in the area adjoining the Dwarakamai. Though this work was commenced by Purandare after getting prior approval from Sri Sai Maharaj, when Purandare drilled holes in the walls of Dwarakamai, it kindled the anger of Sri Sai Baba. The moment Sri Sai Baba returned from Lendibag, he noticed that the masjid walls were drilled. He began to pick up bricks to hit Purandare and reprimanded him for making holes on the masjid walls. Purandare was very calm but stubborn. He told Sri Sai Maharaj that he will not cause any damage to Dwarakamai. He needs to make 4 holes to support the wooden shafts. Already 2 has been made and had to make 2 more. His aim is to construct a shed for the palanquin and will not leave until he completes the job. Sri Sai Baba screamed out, "You are here to demolish the masjid. Go away from here. Do whatever you want. Don't come here." Saying so, he washed his feet and went to sit on his seat in the sanctum sanctorum of the masjid. Jog was preparing the arati plates as it was time for Madhyana arati. Now Purandare continued to drill holes. The wall that is getting drilled up is just the one exactly behind the spot Sri Sai Maharaj was seated. So it was too noisy. Many close devotees were surrounding Sri Sai Maharaj, including Bade Baba. Sri Sai Maharaj told Bade Baba alias Fakir Baba, "His torture is unbearable. He doesn't let me sit in peace, either in Dwarakamai or at Chavadi," and began to scold but anyone. Purandare could hear all the scoldings of Sri Sai Maharaj. He didn't heed those words but stayed focused on his work. The plastering was done. It was wet and hasn't hardened yet. Meanwhile, Arati commenced. Purandare didn't stop the work for the sake of participating in the Arati. He continued to focus on the service that he wanted to render to Sri Sai Maharaj and not on the ritualistic worship or darshan. After the Arati was over, everyone dispersed receiving Udi from Sri Sai Maharaj. Bade Baba was seated next to him, and at that juncture, Sri Sai Baba spoke to him thus, "Look at this rascal. He hasn't eaten anything and not allowing others to also eat. His entire family is starving, because of which even I am not eating. Whereas this rascal, unmindful of the circumstances, is continuously carrying out his work. Go and advise that fellow and send him for lunch." Devotees might recall that Sri Sai Maharaj would never let anyone fast. This is one of the traits of a mother, that she cannot bear to see the child in hunger. Sri Sai Maharaj, the most compassionate mother's heart would melt like wax seeing the suffering of his children. Purandare didn't realize his hunger, whereas as an outcome of the Vatsalya Bhava, Sri Sai Maharaj was concerned about Purandare and was desperate to make him eat his lunch. Bade Baba went to Purandare and asked him to get down from the ladder and go to eat his food. Purandare didn't heed the call. Losing his patience, Sri Sai Maharaj got up from his asan and came to the spot where Purandare was working and asked, "What do you think of yourself? Out of enthusiasm, you are doing the work without any break. Your mother, wife, and others are waiting in hunger. Now go and eat with them." In fact, Purandare had completed the work, but he feared to descend the ladder and waiting for the plastering to dry so that it will get hardened to place the wooden shafts, as he feared that Sri Sai Maharaj might break all of them and throw it away. To recall, when the Sabha Mandap was getting constructed, the devotees stayed awake the whole night and fixed the roofs and pillars, whereas early in the morning, as soon as Sri Sai Baba returned from the Chavadi, he would uproot all of those and throw them away. Hence Purandare, even after completing the work, was scared to leave the spot. So he refused to move from there and said to Sri Sai Baba, "If you break this plastering, then who can be made answerable for this mishap? So I am not going from here. I will stay back." Hearing this, Sri Sai Maharaj was greatly moved and professed, "Why are you creating unnecessary problems? Get down from the ladder. I will not mess up this work." After hearing these assuring words from Sri Sai Baba, Purandare went to eat his lunch. He ate his food in no time and quickly got back to resume his work. At that juncture, Fakir Baba asked, "Baba, this Purandare is very stubborn. He doesn't listen to your instructions but is very sincere and determined in serving you." Sri Sai Maharaj responded thus, "No other go. We need to endure it. When a child passes stool in the lap of the mother doesn't kill the child for this mistake or chops off her lap because it is dirtied by the stool of the child. Instead, should bear with it. Who else will protect our child other than us?" Bade Baba was surprised to hear the caring and soothing words of Sri Sai Maharaj that reveals his intense love for Purandare. Bade Baba continued, "Having so much love for him in your heart, why are you always scolding him, Baba?" Baba said, "If we don't scold our child, who else will do?" Devotees, though it feels like Sri Sai Maharaj has been frowning or yelling on Sri Sai Maharaj, they were not addressed to Purandare but to the hurdles that he might encounter in rendering his service to Sri Sai Maharaj, or to annihilate the bad karmas of Purandare. Maharashtrians are fond of betel leaves known as panvida and is served after meal in Maharashtra. As Sri Sai Maharaj likes panvida, Radha Krishna Mai would daily send it for her Sai Ma after lunch. That day, the panvida was sent by Radha Krishna Mai through Purandare. He offered it to Sri Sai Baba. At that moment, Sri Sai Maharaj took the panvida from Purandare and says to Fakir Baba, "Did you watch this fellow? He doesn't stay in a place. He earns to see me. Hence, rather than being in Mumbai, he is always in Shirdi, never takes rest, ever keeps himself occupied with one or the other thing." Now in a sarcastic tone added, "Don't think he is a good person. He is a thief and has robbed a lot of money from this masjid. Don't consider him to be a genuine person. Wait and watch. I am going to chase him away from this Dwarakamai." Devotees, this is a very significant assertion of Sri Sai Maharaj. It has a deeper connotation and is a blessing to Purandare. The book Sri Sai Baba's Charters and Sayings is a compilation of the assertions of Sri Sai Maharaj. There is one assertion that says Brahmins are earning more money. Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji in his commentary says, in this assertion Sri Sai Maharaj refers money to good karma. In the case of Purandare, when Sri Sai Maharaj says Purandare has stolen lots of money from Dwarakamai, he implies that Purandare, having served him fervently, is qualified to receive the abundant grace of this masjid, which is the accumulation of good karma. So, the chiding of Sri Sai Maharaj is indeed the blessings for Purandare. Sri Sai Baba continued, Allah is the most superior one. None is on par with him. You have the complete grace of Allah. He will fulfill your wishes by giving you happiness equal to the treasures of the 7 seas. Why do you fear? Thus, the service of Purandare was recognized by Sri Sai Maharaj. Now, let us move on to another remarkable service that Purandare rendered to his Sadguru Sri Sai Maharaj. Purandare always desired to offer fragrant flowers to Sri Sai Maharaj, whereas in Shiradi, only wild flowers were found in abundance. Devotees might recall in Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, it is mentioned that Sri Sai Baba removed all the bubble trees from Lendibag and brought flowering plants such as Jai, Jew from Rahata and planted them. Due to the non-availability of scented flowers in the village, the puja of Sri Sai Maharaj was performed by offering the wild flowers. This was not liked by Purandare. Hence, he decided to bring a few fragrant flowering plants to plant them in Shiradi so that Sri Sai Baba's daily puja can be performed using them. Before delving deep into this topic, we need to ponder upon the present condition at Shiradi. At present, when we go near Samadhi Mandir, we are carried away by the beautiful fragrance of various flowers and sweet basil. Sweet basil is another favorite plant of Sri Sai Maharaj. Currently, the garlands of Sri Sai Maharaj are made out of varieties of fragrant flowers. Shirdi Sai Sansthan is working on a huge project through the cooperative societies. This project is to manufacture incense sticks using the fragrant substance obtained by processing the flowers offered to Sri Sai Baba. These details are mentioned on the wrapper of the incense stick box that are sold by Sansthan store. Whereas during the tenure of Sri Sai Maharaj at Shiradi, there was not even a single scented flower to offer. Purandare was very dejected and discussed this with Sri Radhakrishna Mai. She was also of the same opinion and insisted that Tai, that is Purandare, take some initiative to get scented flowers to offer their Saima. Purandare thought about it and said, as no good flowering plants are available in Shiradi, why not he bring from Mumbai? Sri Radhakrishna Mai also liked this idea. Accordingly, Purandare brought 4 pots full of flowering plants from Mumbai, accompanied by his 3 friends, H.A. Pandit, Mureshwar Pandit, Daji Pandurang Vartak. All these 4 carried those heavy pots filled with flowering plants, reached Kopargaon railway station from Mumbai. Now they must reach the city of Kopargaon to hire a tonga. Apart from the pots of plants, the 4 had their own bags to carry. All these 4 were stranded with their bags at the station, wondering how to reach the city. At that moment, to the surprise of Purandare, he happened to meet his friend Hassan, who is affluent. They both were excited to meet each other. Hassan, looking at the luggage, asked where they were up to and volunteered to drop all of them with their bags and asked them to get into his horse cart. He dropped them at the banks of the Godavari river, which is in the city of Kopargaon. There was a bridge close to it, and after crossing the bridge, people can hire a tonga to go to Shiradi. This was the only means to commute, but unfortunately that day they didn't find any tonga or bullock cart. Purandare was determined to reach Shiradi at the earliest. His mind is only focusing on taking these plants safely to Shiradi and planting them soon. So he asked them if they can start to walk rather than waiting for the Tonga. Everyone agreed to this suggestion, but it's not an easy task. They must walk almost 11 miles, which is close to 16 kilometers, carrying their bags and flower pots on their heads. They decided to trek the distance by foot. This strength of mind is owing to their loving devotion and unswerving faith in Sri Sai Maharaj. As they got ready to walk, exactly at that moment, 3 Tongas that had gone to Shiradi to drop the pilgrims were returning to Kopargaon. Though the Tongas were available, the Tonga driver should agree to take them. Those days, going to Shiradi was not an easy mission. Lo, the Tongawalas also happened to be the friends of Purandari. Immediately, Purandari approached them and requested if they could drop them at Shiradi. They agreed. It's a regular practice of the devotees to take a dip in the holy Godavari before going to have darshan of Sri Sai Maharaj. So quickly these 4 went and took their bath at the Godavari river, then got into the Tonga and reached Shiradi. Thus, the flowering plants reached Shiradi safely. Devotees, it's inevitable to note that the 4 were ready to go to Shiradi by walk, carrying the heavy pots and bags on their heads, prepared to face the hassle. But as Sadguru Sri Sai Maharaj had bestowed his grace upon them, they need not have to endure any struggle, and all the initiative for their smooth travel has been arranged by Sri Sai Maharaj. Now, after they reached Shiradi, how they were welcomed by Sri Sai Baba. What leelas were transpired by Sri Sai Maharaj in this connection. Were the flowering plants planted in Shiradi? All these amazing miracles can be heeded in the next episode. Woe to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.